That's got you going for the morning. And we got some headlines now with Heather.
Hey,
Hi,
Heather's
morning,
back.
gang. Great
Good
to see you back here.
Good to
Hope
have
you
you.
all had a nice weekend.
Hope you did too.
I certainly did. Thank you. I've got some headlines now to bring you. Tear gas and shattered windows. More protests now turning violent in Berkeley, California. It started out as a series of peaceful marches over the Michael Brown and Eric Garner decisions, and it spiraled into chaos for a second straight night in a row. Protesters smashing windows, setting fires, and looting stores, even hurling explosives at officers there. And then across the country, demonstrations, though, remaining peaceful. Marches in Chicago and Miami, clogging up main highways and intersections. And then in New York, protesters storming the Disney store in Times Square, terrifying shoppers.
Kids are dying while you're buying.
Imagine that. You're in the store with your children, probably Christmas shopping, and a bunch of protesters walk in and they say, kids are dying while you're buying? Well, it is the fifth night of protests since a New York City police officer was cleared in the chokehold death of Eric Garner. The protests continue as Eric Garner's widow reveals that she thinks her husband was actually targeted for selling untaxed cigarettes.
I feel that he was murdered unjustly. I don't even feel like it's a black and white thing, honestly. You know, in my opinion, I really don't feel like it's a black and white thing.
Let's talk a little bit about this. Heather just brought us the images of the craziness with the Disney store here in Times Square and protesting across the country and the Berkeley last night. Well, actually, a Berkeley professor has given protesters an extension on their paper. He tweeted out something like, if you got tear gassed or hit by a rubber bullet, you have an extension on your...
Show them your bruise?
Yeah,
what do you do?
Pretty much. And then at the Columbia Law School, which is one of the finest law schools in the world, they are going to permit students to postpone their finals if they are emotionally impaired by the Brown or Garner cases. Now, in both cases, grand juries returned with non-indictments. You would think that if these were future lawyers, they would embrace the rule of law. And the law says that they were not indicted.
Well, and the two instances are a little bit different, right? So you take Berkeley, and there's been some real violence going on right there, obviously, like explosions being thrown at officers there. Fine to then postpone there. But let us know what you think about this, because with Columbia, it's really based on theory. He's saying that the chain of events is all the more profound as it threatens to undermine the sense of the law and its fundamental pillar of society designed to protect fairness. So basically, they didn't like what the grand jury had to say.
No.
So there, it's almost a protest in itself.
But if you are
to put
emotionally impaired, and if you're a family member, you could be emotionally impaired, but still, you're a law school student. You're supposed to support the rule of law.
And be able to handle that.
If you wonder why most of those people out there, a lot of those people out there are young. They're out there. Maybe that is basically the go sign from these professors to say, hey, if you're late to my class, you have a big test, don't let that stop you from putting on your Parker and going out into the street and stopping traffic. And by the way, if you want to win people over to your cause, the best thing to do is around 5 o'clock, start sealing up some bridges and roadways.
Now, that's an expensive day to postpone at any university, never mind a law school there.
Absolutely.
So the price tag is high for missing out.
All right.